expecting now that he's on that Phoenix, now that we're on Haven, and I believe, again, the attacking side here. So Sean is kind of that name that I'm keeping, you know, as a in my back pocket for Gen.G to obviously step things up. And then again, the versatility from Sentinels, hopefully that's not going to kind of bite them in the butt. Sinatra taking a step back from the Duelist, going on that Sova. And the 3 spikes, the Gen.G slow play style, we get to see how it plays out right here in map number 2, Dust.
I mean, Sinatra's like the wildest Sova you're ever going to watch, though. He still can be very aggressive and do a lot of crazy antics on the Sova. Particularly, obviously, the Odin spamming through Garage defensively is something that he's well known for, similar to the Ascent spam he would do at B Lobby. As we are going to see them look to get maybe a little bit aggressive here out through Garage, but right now they're kind of holding firm as it looks like Gen.G want to put that pressure on B site.
Yep, a lot of pressure on this B site. They're actually just running right through here. The spike is still there. Now the spike on the ground, and they have to go back to retrieve. Shazam in a spooky spot as he finds himself in a 1v2. He's able to pick up one, and you can't ask for much more, except for the rest of the squad now bringing up the rear. Here comes Sick. Tosses down the hot hands. Low HP. Now a 1v1. It's up to Kusta. Can he get it done here? Sick looking to peek. He's gonna swing wide, but Sick with the 4K. Sentinels on top.
It's just one of those perfect examples of the fact that Sick doesn't give a flying rip about your calculated attack. Sometimes he's just gonna get out there and say, all right, let's fight. He's going to win those battles quite often. He is just so strong individually because this was a nice split attempt from Gen.G. Like, they were able to put the pressure on B. They were able to get some pushes up through sewers. They had main advantage through the bulk of that round. And then Sick just says, nah, I'll be having that.
So
big quad kill.
I mean, if you could kind of help me get in the minds, because you had 2 pushing up short, 2 pushing through B, but the spike was trying to be planted. Now, we got to hold this thought for just a second because it's aggression once more, but everybody getting mowed down here. Dapper with 2, the Ares, it's the save round. But if you blinked, you missed it. Sentinels grab 2.
Yeah, to go back to that, I think the plan, and I can't know for sure, but I think the plan was just to have the plant at B, but then have like a way to backstab that A link so that they weren't funneled into playing post plant from middle. Or they could have maybe brought the spike through link to A site if they felt that was the better option. They could have gone either way with it, I think. And I think they were just trying to see like what made the most sense once they got the picks. And unfortunately, Sick was just like, nah, I'll just ruin that parade. So now we're on to somewhat of a full buy here for both teams. Obviously, some Spectres being recycled over.
Run it back, going to be used. Out towards mid. Sick looking for some more. Flash comes through, tries to find the spray down. Not going to get it, but the information is there, and Shazam is there to follow up against Sentinels. Just working so well together in this bonus round, especially thwarting Gen.G here. The ingenuity in the first round, now moving a couple rounds later. None of it matters, especially when Gen.G are down a player.
Yeah, Sentinels are so good at dictating the pace at middle on the defensive side of this map. That's like one of the reasons why they had such a high defensive win rate on Haven, is because they're able to use, you know, Sinatra's utility to pave the way, to get aggressive at Garage, to get aggressive up middle, to challenge window, and to really make it difficult on defaulting teams to get that control to start setting up side splits towards C or B. But Gen.G are able to find A, and they actually just found a couple of big picks, and all of a sudden they're in the driver's seat.
Absolutely, and they know Dapper's still up top. Kusta able to find the grape there of Shazam and to pop it. It's down to the last 2 for Sentinels as Gen.G look to find their way on the board here on Haven. One gonna peek on through. That Zom's down. Now Dapper needs to have himself around. Ares in hand. He's since moved out from Heaven. He finds 1, but 3 more on the menu. I don't know if that's the case. Ooh, actually gonna swap weapons and maybe go for it here. Am goes through. He is running out of time though, Dust, and I mean, yeah, it's slim pickings for him here.
He's trying to creep in. There's a couple of players on low HP, and he finds the healthiest one already, but time is ticking. Spike is not planted in a favorable position. He knows he can get peeked from sewers and long at the same time. He's trying to draw someone out. He's trying to bring down who he can with him. And ultimately, of course, he's looking to end it so he can make sure he gets that full money bonus going into the next round. But you know, he caused a little bit of a disturbance there in the end, but ultimately it's going to be a victory for Gen.G. But again, forcing some rebuys, keeping their economy low, it's going to help them out in the long term for sure. As that was just a brilliant round. Like, even though Sentinels were doing some big things, getting aggressive over towards middle, Kusta able to kind of lurk his way through sewers into A site, allow them to have that opening to get in there, and then they caught a couple of big frags thanks to Mikhail. I think had like a clutch shock dart that caught someone and gave them an advantage in post plant.
Yeah, and then Huynh through the smoke, finding another on that rotate. So maybe a little bit of complacency being punished there from Sentinels. As this next round, although winning the first two, kind of in a hindered by once more. It's a glass cannon operator, and I believe Sick was on the Stinger. As we saw that jump peak come on through. Very, very aggressive stance over towards C-Long here from Sentinels.
Yeah, it's creating a gap, though, here on the other side of the map, and you can see that Gen.G are trying to expose that. Sick, though, gets inside the cage and again disrupts. Hot hands to stop any further pushing into B-side, and he's able to start getting the heals off as well. He's got Sinatra to aid him right there outside the garage. So Sick has done his job to slow this attack down. Sentinels already have man advantage. They're over to back off of Long C. And now Gen.G are having to pivot once again back through A side, but Sentinels were kind of planning, I think, to play retake, but Zoms gets caught, and that's big.
Both Omens going down here, and this one is actually Guimond getting caught back towards the spawn by that aggressive stance over towards C-Long. Now Shazam has since rotated over with that operator, trying to find some extra love towards this A site. Nice post plant, though, coming out from Gen.G. And Huynh actually completely on the flank here, undetected. Should be able to find quite a bit in the 4v4. Reloading is Dapper. Dead is Dapper as Huynh backs away to reposition. Boost on 30 HP needs to be careful, but it's looking like another Gen.G victory. Sinatra, though, trying to make me eat my words on the back end of this one, and the flank doesn't matter. Shazam is holding it down. Sean's able to trade another 22 HP to his name. It's only Shazam left as he found that kill onto Huynh, but he's running out of time. Oh, finds a kill on the way out, and he is just going to save. It's Gen.G tying things up at 2, but what a round, Dust.
What a weird classic kill from Shazam. It's like a burst classic through a wall. Like, what in the heck?
Nerf the classic.
Wow.
Again.
I mean, man, though, what a nice timed flank there from Huynh. I like that Gen.G never have all their eggs in one basket. Like, there's always some type of flanking option or some type of alternate route to hold from a post flank. They're never being funneled one direction, and so therefore they can always kind of like poke and prod Sentinels and never let them feel comfortable as they're getting their footing to launch back into a site. Even though Huynh only got one kill on the flank, he made sure that his team always stayed a man ahead, and he always kept someone's attention when they couldn't fully focus on retaking the site itself. So those are just kind of those extra little layers to Gen.G's attacks that are really helping them cash in victories on top of just having the execute go their way.
And more aggression here from Sentinels. Punished a bit as Shazam takes some damage on the way out. Stinger in the hands of Sean as he looks to peek into a Stinger in the hands of Zoms. We'll see who gets the better half of this one towards Sewer. The spike has since pushed all the way up towards A short. It's actually Zoms. No, not coming out on top. He's first to contact, but first to go down. Sick trades it back, but it doesn't matter. Gen.G are looking to grab themselves a lead. 4v2 operator in hand. Everything looking good for this squad.
Yeah, they also really get the neural theft off to confirm where the retake was going to be coming from on these two remaining players from Sentinels, so no wool being pulled over their eyes in this scenario. As they'll also be able to cage up Heaven as soon as that smoke dissipates, so it's going to keep that angle from being used for quite some time here from Sentinels, as they really have no hope at getting back into this. It's raining mid, Sinatra falling from Heaven, and that's going to be a third round for Gen.G, and they haven't looked back since losing Pistol, man. Once they got their economy in order, they have been bulldozing through some of these rounds. A couple of them have been, you know, somewhat close, but it feels like they're always in control.
When do we get to see, now this would be on like a 5-man eco retake, but when do we get to see the full 5-man flood through Heaven, you know, just like we see in similar games? I would love to see something like that, and I feel Sentinels would kind of be that team to give us that flair on the retake. Now this time around, though, full rifles, Shazam sitting on that Stinger, but he has the blades, so full armor, blades, Shazam can be very, very scary here, as Gen.G go right back to their default, just that 5-point stance kind of across the backside of the attacker's spawn, and back to the default ways.
Yeah, Sinatra again trying to use that drone to put some pressure against Gen.G, trying to take some mid control, but they're able to stamp it out pretty quickly. In the meantime, we do have a big commitment from Shazam up close at that long A position. It allows Zoms to rotate a bit more freely towards the B link. But if we see Gen.G double back A, then it would be a bit exposed. So it's kind of a little bit of give and take there, as they're doing a lot of spam damage here. Six gonna have to back off and heal towards defending spawn. Gen.G have yet to really take control of anything just yet, other than middle. Like, they haven't been able to get garage just yet. They're trying to look for a pick at long C at the same time, but Dapper's not really giving them anything. So again, they're playing out that slow default that's very common on Haven for all teams. Even the most aggressive teams typically have to take their time on Haven because there's just so much ground to cover. But eventually, Gen.G need to snap onto something, and unfortunately, they just haven't really gained any big territory yet.
Yep, that would have been a good first one from Quinn, but instead it's Sinatra to pick up the first onto Sean, trying to push through the garage. C still seems to be the place to be here for Gen.G. Kusta with the spike in hand is going to get spotted out. Here comes the Hunter's Fury to try and stop it. It's the kill with the rifle instead, as Sinatra picks up 2, 3 on the round, but 2 with the Hunter's Fury, and Gen.G back to their losing ways here. No way in for Mikhail. Gonna have to save the Phantom here and hope to do some damage on the way out.
Yeah, Gen.G were just never able to take that next critical step that round. Like, yeah, they got out into the middle, but they were never able to really put pressure on B. They weren't really able to take control of the garage. They obviously were hoping to pinch C there with their operator being parked outside long C, hoping to get a pick. But Dapper, again, really smart Sentinel player, good at anchoring, never going to overexpose himself, doesn't really make too many errors, normally always going to buy time for rotations. And so when Hwen's not able to find the op pick and they're not able to get C control, they can't really set anything up. So Sentinel's finally shutting down this Gen.G attack, and I'd like to see if they can do it 2 in a row, though. You know, they haven't inspired much confidence just yet on this defense.
Flash out, Hwen looking to do some damage here. Another operator in hand. And that's one of those things, the biggest hindsight 2020 moment where you get so much damage onto Sick and you're just thinking, well, yeah, just play off of that. But because of the smoke, because Sick getting away, they have zero knowledge of that damage actually transpiring. So just a round to fall by the wayside as Sean finds a beautiful one-tap here. Sinatra goes down. There's the running back. Sick gonna go down as well. And here we go. The B site is free for this squad. It's down to the last 2 on the retake. And Sean gonna get himself a nice reset. 100 HP, 5 members versus 1. It's up. Shazam comes out on top. I don't think he's got much left in the tank here. A rifle at his feet should he choose to swap. But Kusta on the flank. Dust, you talked about it. The different angles, the different approaches, so many avenues. Gen.G just continue to play using the whole map.
Bro, that shot that Sean hit on Sinatra, like, you can't even account for that. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's just sometimes raw aim taking over a round. And Sean blitzed him. Hyun catches Sick through the smoke with the operator. And then on top of that, Sean pops the ult, and he makes sure that his team has garage control. So on top of having double mana advantage and the B site entirely in their possession, he ensures that they're going to have control of garage in the post lane if it's needed. So they're not, again, funneled one direction, which it didn't even wind up mattering. They just waltzed all through that round. But I like that Gen.G are taking those extra steps to make sure that they're, you know, minding their P's and Q's and making sure that they're playing disciplined Valorant and kind of sticking to a game plan even when things are just like spiraling like totally in their control.
I wish I knew enough about One Direction to make a witty little...
It's for the best that you don't.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't, so I can't go much more with that. But more importantly, the A side looking to be the next one to be stormed. GMD going to find the first. Sick trades it back. This time good for a kill before going down as Mikhail picks one up. And Sean just cannot be stopped again. He's just a fragger for this squad. Win with the cherry on top. And Sinatra, one of the first to fall in the last round, needs to find himself 3 kills and quite possibly a defuse. There's the first one to start, so not a bad start for him. But Kusta on the flank once more. Hats off to this guy.
Yeah, Gen.G are really cooking up a big attacking side here. They've won 5 of the last 6. They're, you know, getting the economy low on their opponents. They're, you know, well on for a 6th round now at this point, considering what little Sentinels are going to be able to purchase going into this round. And they still have plenty of cash to sit on for the future. So, man, this has been brilliant. Kusta's cleaning frags up. Sean's creating openings. I mean, they're starting to really flex their muscles here.
I need to watch this one back just to watch the minimap to see where Kusta is going, because he just finds himself in the perfect position every single time. Now, Sick unfortunately spotted out, so his position given up, but
I like what he's doing at the beginning of rounds, because, you know, it's so common for Cyphers on this map on the attacking side to just kind of default towards A and use their cam to clear out showers for intel and then cage the cross to deny defense knowing if you're taking, you know, Sewers. But he's throwing his cage over the wall deep, and so not only is he threatening Sewers control, he's also able to get some initial space towards long A safely. And it's like a nicer way of doing it, I think. And I imagine that's going to become more commonplace.
And Sick, just no breathing room, getting spotted out both times, but with the run it back, he's able to find the kill, and the paranoia just a moment too late from GMD. Now the A side coming through, but the Stingers coming out on top here for Sentinels. They start to cut down this Gen.G roster, and they're completely corralled here. GMD doesn't know which target to pick, and it's looking like a thrifty victory here for Sentinels to get back on the board. Quinn's got nowhere to go.
Yeah, I mean, Shazam's dancing around with all the different movement abilities Jet has, never giving Quinn a clear shot. And that's a tough round to lose if you're Gen.G, because you were coasting through the half. Like, yeah, you lost Pistol in the follow-up eco, but they were dictating the pace the whole rest of the game since then. And then to lose to a low buy like that's tough, because I feel like that's right when you have your boot on their throat and you're ready to dominate the half if you can pull that one over. And instead, Sentinels are now right back in the mix with the victory like that. A brilliant play from Sick with the ult to backstab through window, get his man, open up a pinch through long A, and just shut down Gen.G's attack. That's exactly what Sentinels needed to get some confidence back about them and keep the gap close on the scoreboard.
Blades queued up here. No buy coming out from Hwin. He's still sitting on that classic, so we'll see if that secondary is necessary as the smoke goes down. He's going to go right through the trap wires. He dashed on the side, tries to get to the back, but the hot hands are going to keep him at bay. He goes up top, but again, Dapper sits him down, reminiscent of Icebox. Quinn just cannot get the better half of this Sentinel. GMD goes to the back of the site, but it's just too telegraphed, and Dapper is holding it down now, looking for some extra. Finds the kill with the last bullet in the mag. It's a 4K for Dapper.
I thought it's the first time Dapper's really gotten tested this game, and he delivered immediately. A big quad kill round for him. He's mostly had to just like rotate and help play retake on B or A. But again, it's hard messing with Dapper. He's a really good side anchor on that Cypher. He's really good at buying time, getting kills, playing smart, not taking overly aggressive angles, but just kind of picking his battles wisely. That's why I think he's like one of the best Cyphers we have in the region.
I feel like you see that too. Like on defense, you expect your Cypher to be able to get a whole lot done. Look at Kusta, the attacking Cypher, the attacking Sentinel being at the top of that leaderboard. Now, granted, they have been some awkward flank kills, you know, doing his job as an attacking Sentinel, but hats off to these guys. Now you just need those omens to start creeping on up. Both Zoms and GMD having a harder time finding those rifle fight wins. Shazam looking to find a kill for himself. Kusta, I cursed him. I hyped him up. He gets taken down. But the B side has since been taken. We might just see a plant here, and Gen.G are going to try and have as many avenues once more.
Oh, that's a nice little flash there from Sean. Almost thought he missed, but he banked it off the wall perfectly. Actually got a kill, but Hwin actually is going to control this A-Link, and that's big because, again, they're going to get a plant, and they have multiple positions to hold the defuse away from.
Ooh, they barely miss out on the shrouded step, so GMD gets away. Now a 2v2. Hwin on low HP, trying to get away. It's the Odin to the back of the site. We'll see what Sinatra can get done with this one. He mows down one, he mows down two. He's good for 3. The Sentinels grab themselves 6, looking to have the better half of the half.
Again, I like what Gen.G were doing there. I mean, Hwin being able to get into the A-Link, also being able to dash away from danger, protecting his teammate with the shrouded step to get out. And they had a real shot at winning that round in the 2v2 post plant, but I can think of few things I would least like to do than run into Sinatra holding an Odin. Like that's kind of a death sentence.
That's exactly what I say. I feel like he is kind of, you know, Odin being the god, kind of the god with that Odin, almost,
yes,
you know, making a staple, a name for himself on across multiple maps. Now bringing it out to Ascent. You talked about him spraying through the mid doors. Instead, he just brings it to B side and uses it like a rifle.
Right here.
Yep. Couldn't have said it better myself here. So we're going to see Sinatra pop off the Hunter's Fury right away, and boy, does it get some value. He has already chunked down Gimon very low, and it's also bought Sick a lot of space to move aggressively up long A.
Yeah, he feels to be a bit quiet, is only good for 1 there as Kusta trades it back and gets himself an upgrade, courtesy of Gimon. Sinatra, though, Neural Theft comes out, spots him out. He tried to find something from downtown with that Odin, unfortunately. Not going to get a whole lot. Gen.G, though, looking to creep up once more to play B. This time, Zom's going to be holding this one down. Sentinels not giving this one up for free as Sinatra goes fishing for some info.
Yeah, he's looking to skate down. He doesn't spot anything, but he does still have his presence on the site with that Odin. We are going to see the run it back here from Sean, though, to clear out the entirety of B site. And can he gain anything extra? That would be the bonus here as he's trying to get into this A link, but he's unable to find frags. But again, he's guaranteed space on the site, but hold the phone. They've used that to flank into A. Kusta already has control of the site. Spike making its way up. Yun is still causing such havoc on B. Sentinels have no idea. They have no clue.
Goes huge there. You saw it was almost the knives battle. Unfortunately, Hwin ends up falling, but Sean picks up that kill onto Shazam. Now Gen.G, not only a player ahead here, low HP on Kusta, we can't forget that, but in a really good spot as far as post plants go. Oh, neural theft though, gives it all up.
One enemy remaining.
Knowing's half the battle, though, Tanner, as they do have to still fight their way through, and they can't do it. Sean winds up with 3, and that is going to tie the game up 6 apiece. Sentinels' lives on the line. We'll see how it concludes after a short break.
Back on board here. No better way than 6-6 at the half between these two teams. Mikhail looking to grab some early information. Aggression matched with aggression as they push down C. They're looking to get it done nice and early. Gen.G with the aggressive playstyle. A huge hot hands from Sean to pick up 2. Now Sentinels on the back foot. They do recover the spike. They do have the B site and A site open, but the stack pays off huge for Gen.G.
Bro, that'll get you up. Holy cow. That was awesome. I can't wait for someone to, like, break down that set piece and some content, because that was beauty. Now, a spike will get planted at A, but Gen.G have a 5-on-3 for the retake. Now, here's the interest. Look at this from Shazam. Okay, this could be a way back in.
They're going slow.
I mean, they got plenty of time. The problem is the positioning that Sentinels have might be unexpected. Like, are they really going to expect Sick to be where he is? I don't know.
Well, they expect Shazam a little bit as they find a dink on the way out. 24 HP there on that Jet. 2 going to be playing towards the sailing. Now make it 1. A Sick is just going to get cut down. Now it's all up to Dapper. Somebody's got to stick the defuse. It is a flawless pistol for Gen.G after the break.
Oh my god, that aggression at long C was beautiful from Gen.G because it basically traps Sentinels. Like, not only are they forced backwards, but they're forced backwards into damage, and there's no way to avoid it. They either have to just commit to continuing to push up long C to avoid getting burned, or they have to run into the fire, and that's exactly what happened there. Like, I think they even maybe were blinded at some point too, so they may not even realize they were sitting inside fire for a second there. So that was just like a brilliant set piece push for Gen.G. What a chef's kiss of a round from them. Holy cow. That was awesome to watch.
And it's now matched, though, by a force from Sentinels. So they're thinking, hey, that was a fluke. We're going to take it right to him. Full armor for 4, stingers for 5. And Win just going to cut him down to 4 as a whole. Shazam's able to trade it back. Aggression once more, this time over towards the A side as the smokes go through. A nice upgrade for Shazam will bring Sentinels back to the spawn and back to the drawing board. But Kusta on the flank once more.
Yeah, that could be a problem, couldn't it, here, as Sentinels trying to skate back here through window room. Kusta, like you said, making sure that they can't really get back to C without him noticing. He's going to spot them cross. He lets them by. He's just chilling, man. And I love the trigger discipline here. Now, he still could get screwed on timing. It's so tense, man. Okay, he's good now. Oh, my. Oh, my.
Oh, he's only good for 1, but the information, now the rotate to come back through. If only.
I'm going to say that that's pretty anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing everything right for so long, only to flop right at the end. But his team still has a shot here. 2 players are very low on health, and they have an even advantage here on this retake.
30 seconds left.
That they do, and a paranoia on top of it all.
No.
Cherry on top, but Shazam, 17 HP. It's 16 more than he needs to not only win that gunfight, but get the spike down. Now, again, it's SMGs across the board. So, although on low HP, these SMGs don't necessarily have the range that we might find ourselves in as that recon bolt gets taken down immediately. So a bit of information as to where Shazam might be playing. Backs against the wall. The flash goes through. He dashes away. He's going to be taken down. Now in the 2v2. Gen.G once more on the retake. Working against the clock. And Dapper puts it down to 1. Sinatra to close it out. And once more, we're all knotted up.
How on God's green earth does Gen.G lose that round? I don't get it. Like, not only did they have man advantage, they had Kusta literally right behind them with all the information in the world and a chance to at least get 2 kills. Only gets 1. And then Gimon overcommits while he's by himself on C site. And rather than holding and waiting when they have massive health advantage, he just tries to peek out by himself and dies and then gets Sentinel's man advantage in a plant. So there was a couple of grave errors there from Gen.G. But you also have to give props to Sentinels for battling their way out of a tough spot.
Yeah, they do that, and they just keep it going forward. 3 quick kills to follow as Gen.G, unfortunately, on an eco round. Not a whole lot to write home about. A flawless one at that. Sentinels reclaim a lead here after a very even half, Dust. Oh, this is a nice.
Oh, my. This is a wild ride, this half so far. You're really starting to have some confidence in Gen.G after such a brilliant pistol round victory, but then you see him kind of fumble the ball there in the next one, and then they have to suffer the punishment by losing the following eco. And now Sentinels have the lead. They have economic advantage.
Standing ahead.
And this is where they can really get rolling. They are a very effective attacking team on this map. Sick feels very comfortable entering with Phoenix on this map, and we know how good this guy can bang.
And a quick beating. Oh, Kusta with the flick. Able to delay the plant for just a moment. No, even longer. Shazam not feeling comfortable. Close quarters. Sean comes out on top. What a round to kick things off as Gen.G find themselves up 2 players. That run it back going to be sent right back for Sean. But Zombs playing out towards A Link needs to find not only the spike, but has to recoup with Sinatra out towards mid. Looking to creep his way up towards the garage. GMD going to be holding this one down, spots him out, and now they've got information on half. Make it information on everybody as Zombs gets spotted out. Sentinels on the back foot here.
Yeah, they well and truly see him out of this one. Just such brilliant play from Gen.G. Kusta running through, catching Sick. The run it back, stopping the spike plant, getting Gen.G into a 4-on-2 situation with limited time left for Sentinels to figure things out. As they are going to back off here and look to try to come up through long C. Now, it's very likely that they will get a plant. They should have smokes available to block some of the crossing points to allow them to get in and get a plant. They have a recon bolt as well for a little bit of intel if they need it in the post plant. But the numbers are just overwhelming for Gen.G, you'd have to imagine. As the spike does go down.
10 seconds left. Spike planted.
Feels like Sentinel's a team that you can't count out. Even being down 2 players.
Uh-oh.
Gone through the smokes. Not going to get too much. Sinatra just playing close contact here, but that smoke is going to dissipate very soon. He gets spotted out and is forced to retreat. No damage on the way out, so no harm, no foul. Now they know. One playing towards the back of the site. Sinatra picks up the first Yop shot. Not going to find the kill just yet. Sinatra almost grabs another. Now Zombs needs to have himself a huge round. A bulldog in hand and bites for one, but it might just bark for the others as GMD sits him down. And once more, we're all knotted up.
Yeah, you could tell Gen.G had a sneaking suspicion that going in that smoke was not a good idea.
Yeah.
And you have to expect gimmicks. Like, when you're in the prime position, you have to know that your opposition is going to have to roll the dice a little bit to get themselves a chance to win. And so just play out standard. Just leverage your advantage. Don't give them a chance to pull one over on you. That's exactly what Gen.G did there. They played discipline. They were able to come together. They kept their composure after losing a big round in the second of the half. And now, you know, they're right back in kind of equal footing with their opponent. They're equal on the scoreboard, 8-8. The economies are even pretty even. Alt economy sways a little bit towards Sentinels, but not by a large margin.
Sick with the spike in hand. Maybe not the member you want to have it on, as he's going to be looking to play aggressive. But as you stated, the alt economy in favor of Sentinels, obviously having that blade online, might make a fight for this orb here. All 5 members stacked up, so nobody really watching the flank. There's some trips and a camera out towards mid, but I feel like you just have to worry about where Kusta's at all times.
Sentinels gets a lot of intel with that drone there. They're able to fully come up sewers safely. They're able to start setting up this A split here. Counter smokes being thrown over towards sewers by Gen.G. But the paranoia and the smoke combo is allowing Sentinels room to walk up, and now they have the entry on Kusa, who's anchoring the site. Gamal, though, able to chase in there with the dart, with the intel to find a kill, and he catches Shazam in midair. That is huge.
Demond expecting Jet to go up top, finds a second kill, and then to top it all off, it's another hot hands kill from Sean. And it looked like Sentinels maybe playing the round a bit too quick. Everybody moving back, and they were expecting Sick to be able to get the plant, but he's completely stunted. Now with the spike being planted again, Sentinels on the back foot, down a member. Now it's evened up as Zombs finds one, playing underneath Heaven, trying to stop the push. A-Link is where both members reside for Gen.G. Another kill looking to find its way through. Sean cuts it down to a 1v1. Flash goes through. He has the blaze. He has the hot hands. He's able to find the flash onto Sinatra. Now he has the information. He peeks on through, but Sinatra through the box will grab Sentinels a lead.
Man, that was huge. I was a little bit concerned for Sentinels when they popped the Hunter's Fury so early that they didn't think they were going to get the full value out of it. And also, when Sinatra missed those first couple of shots, I also feel like he gave away that advantage he had of being, you know, from the shadows and his opponent not really knowing where he'd be coming from in that 1v1. But Sinatra able to battle through all that and still come up with victory in the end anyhow. It's really hard still to know where this match is headed. It's so close, and I feel like Gen.G are showing us some good things, you know, enough so that I think that they're still hanging around in this, despite the fact that Sentinels now are starting to gain that edge. They have Gen.G on low economy. They have one round to the good. And they're looking like they're battling back nicely to force a third map here. But, again, Gen.G still aren't too far off. This round going to be tough, obviously, but they can be right back to buying in the next.
They're just getting mowed down in the eco. You can only hope to hurt some of the economy here. Is Kimon going to be the last one standing? He does pick up a couple on the way out. The wall bangs for both teams in that round. Incredibly exciting. At the end of the day, Sentinels to double digits, and we're back to rifle.
Here it is. This is the round. This is the one that Gen.G need to capture to keep the 2-0 dream alive. You have to imagine if they take the loss here with the economy the way that it is, they're going to be forced buying the rest of the game, and Sentinels should be in the driver's seat. You know, they should be the ones dictating the pace, and I feel like Sentinels are finally in that comfort zone. They've won 4 of the last 5. They are in charge in all aspects of the game, and their chances of forcing a third map are very high. But this is like the round they need to do to kind of stay on that path.
Ooh. Kale gets a tag. Not going to find much more on the back end, but a bit of damage. I think healed up. I think it was Sick was actually tagged out. Who, again, the spike holder for this squad as they inch back towards the right side of the map. Could be by possibly another A hit where Kusta is holding it down all by himself.
Yeah, that's like the one gap in the defense, I guess you could say here for Gen.G, and that could be exposed. Gamon using his ult for a little bit of information there is going to start kind of confirming some locations. He's going to now rotate over to kind of be that assistance. They're still trying to keep winning this aggressive angle at middle. Like, almost like they want to just make sure that no one's going to take mid control from Sentinels, and also to give them maybe an option to get into window and backstab for a retake, but hard to say really, as they have now full sight on the Sentinel side of things. They still have to run it back as well on Sick to push even deeper if they want to start trying to cut off some of these retake angles. It's a big kill from Kusta, though, up top on Heaven, being patient and finding a big frag. And he does now have a neural theft if he can find a body.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you just Batman it down and hope to get your team the information, that run it back to see how much it gets. The op gonna sit it down. Think not gonna find too much as the smoke goes through its Zombs. Once more underneath Heaven, and it's Gen.G with the player advantage as they push to the hot hand. Sick trying to get one for himself, but Gen.G pick up two, so not able to trade it back, but win with the knives. Looks to sit them all down. Dapper in a 1v3 will fall as well, and in one of the most important rounds, Dust, Gen.G come back on top.
Yes, they did. Big shout out to Kusta getting his first kill from Heaven to give them the 5-on-4, and then also they did a good job not allowing Six run it back to have really any impact. Once they eradicated that, they're able to flex their man advantage, just came into the site, come in swinging, and just pop off. And they still have the run it back and the neural theft in play for the future. Meanwhile, there's only one ult in play for Sentinels. It's going to be Zom's run it back, or it's going to be Zom's from the shadows for maybe like intel, or maybe to get like a piece of the map to get some space. Obviously, Dapper and Sinatra are not too far off from their ults though. So one kill, one orb, equalize it, as we are going to see again Gen.G looking for that same mid aggression they did last round, and why not? That never got detected, so they can kind of keep that in play and see if they can find something with it this time around.
Right here.
Gen.G being down around, playing a bit more passive this time towards C, but still aggression towards B, not wanting to give up that huge mid portion of the map, as Sentinels kind of lean on this A push again, but Kusta is all the way over on C. A's completely open. Obviously, we see that. They do not, and they are headed, I mean, right into the jaws of the beast.
Yeah, I mean, this is Sentinel slowing it down, playing a bit more default. Obviously, most teams are going to have that opening with the smoke top C to get the orb, which they wanted to get that ult into the hands of Sinatra, because once you have that, that's Hunter's Fury for post plant. If you can actually get on C site and get a favorable plant towards long C, the problem is they've already lost a player towards middle. So Gen.G now have mana advantage, and they have not really captured C site yet. And in fact, Gen.G have great positioning defensively for a C split.
Paranoia used a bit slower on the push up top, and Kusta gonna sit Sick down, no way, no how, onto the C side. There's the spike on the floor as well. Sean picks it up with the run it back that he netted in the round prior, and who better than Kusta? The first kill in the last round and 3 in this to close it out.
Yeah, this time it's just Gen.G cashing in on that same mid-aggression, and this time it pays off. They were able to get a big pick on the Shazam at middle, and then they just had such good positioning at the back of C site. They never allowed Sentinel space to get in, which they needed, right? Their whole play was to get in there, split through garage and long, get spiked down, play off of Sinatra's Hunter's Fury, and lock in around that way. As soon as they weren't able to gain that ground, it was all for naught. Here's the problem. Gen.G has burnt all their ults except for Kusta's, and I don't know that they'll be able to get any for the rest of this game. So that is the one thing helping Sentinels out now that we're tied up 10 apiece.
Yep, that Hunter's Fury that you noted a round ago, still available for that post plant, or at the very least some information. We know sometimes Sinatra just likes to fire that bad boy off. As B hit coming on through. Demon gonna find the first kill onto Sick, and again, that just hurts so bad. Here comes that Hunter's Fury, kind of haphazardly, not gonna find a whole lot there, as Sean now finds himself on the flank. The spike has since been planted. Able to find the first there onto Dapper. Dapper almost sprays him down, though, with that stinger in hand. He's forced to back away to try and heal, and Gen.G with 5 members alive, now down to the last 2 for Sentinels here as Gen.G look to find a lead. Sean gonna toss out the curveball, try and find the flash. Towards the backside, they will go. The trade kills are just there, and Shazam is the last member in a 1v4 who has to try and kill the diffuser. He's able to find the first. He dashes over towards Headshot through the smoke. He's trying to get it through the box, but it's just going to be stuck. Kusta closes it out. The diffuse comes through, and Gen.G grab a lead.
I don't know whether to be critical or not there. Like, it did feel like Sick went really hard in the paint, not using a run it back, just straight up going for it through the smoke there. It did seem, yeah, it got space to get the spike plant, but it also just kind of sacked a player and gave Gen.G main advantage. And on top of that, it felt an odd timing for the Hunter's Fury from Sinatra. Like, I guess maybe he was using it to try to clear out A link so we could get his teammates in some better post-plant positions, like on the B side, but it also now wasn't there to prevent diffuses and kind of disrupt the defense coming back into B. So it almost feel like they're getting a little bit shaky, Tanner. Like that's kind of the vibes I get from around like that from what I saw.
It kind of throwing caution to the wind as a whole. Is oh no, bad spot to be for the op. Shazam takes it down. It was the knives and another kill to follow. Sentinels battling back, as we said, throwing caution to the wind, but this time around much more calculated with that neural depth. They also have an extra bit of information, another kill to follow, and everybody from Gen.G just getting mowed down. And I mean, they're just running at him here. Now Kusta, I mean, he's done a whole lot, but this is asking so much in a 1v4.
It really is. He's able to get one there, but he's so tight as far as like where he can play from. There's no real room for him to breathe, and indeed he will get mitts there by 6 Phantom. So it's going to be all square. Gen.G were like on this path that they could never get off of. Like they had to keep going for the big play because they knew that if they let up, Sentinels would just keep taking more and more ground. And so when Huynh gets stuck in that corner, Sean wants to come save him or wants to come make a big play to equalize, but then it just sets you on that downward spiral. And then you're just like trying to tread water. I mean, hell, even I think it was like Mikhail had to like come and try to swing wide at Sewers because they just knew they needed a big play to get back in the round. They just never got it. And now we're all square again as Sentinels looking to get up long C. They're going to get the orb. They're going to get the drone out. He does get the dart off on the Cypher. He's making sure there's no tripwires on that initial entrance. It looks like they're wanting to set up for the C-splits. They're now also trying to get some garage control. And the run it back will be the point of the spear.
Yep, ooh, gonna be sent back almost immediately. Shazam, though, able to get on through with that run it back. Being taken down, forcing everybody from Gen.G back towards this defender side and spawn the C-Link area. One still playing over towards A, just in case. Huynh still holding it down, but the spike does get planted. And I feel like it's been a long time since we've seen the 5v5 retake for one of these sites.
The positioning is so good for Sentinels, though, by also being able to play under this window and not be stuck all at long C. But that is a great paranoid to allow Gen.G to start breaking in, but they still haven't really got any critical space yet.
Now the kills are just being traded back and forth. Dapper out towards mid, able to pick up another. DMD gonna get traded out, and Sick goes huge. The run it back didn't get a whole lot, but he himself will find 3. Huynh gonna sit him down, but running out of time. Is this Jet? Is this Operator? And Sentinels will move to match point.
Yeah, Sentinels, that was a big round for them. Again, they're one of those teams that are so decisive. Sometimes their aggression can be their downfall when they overextend or when they kind of like run out of options and they're kind of running their heads up against a brick wall and they don't really have like another play that they can go to adjust. But when it is working, or when they have the confidence, when they have that information, which the drone from Sinatra gained so much at long C, the run it back gave them so much space at garage, that's whenever they can just strike, and that's whenever they can flex their firepower and show you what they're made of. And that was a great combination of abilities there to really confidently split up that C site. And then again, I love their post-plant positioning. They had a player sitting outside garage, cutting off the mid flank. They had people playing under the window, cutting that route off. So it wasn't as if they were all just trying to play the ping spam battle from long C position or something along those lines. They had a lot of key pieces under their control that Gen.G were never able to claim back. And so that gave them a very swift victory. And now they're the ones sitting at map point looking to push us into a map 3 to keep their tournament lives alive in what is such a critical match for both these teams.
Yeah, Gen.G picked this one up. They send Sentinels home back to the round of 128 and their life continues. Sentinels picked this one up and going to be taken to Ascent for that map 3. As we take a look across the board, I see a Bulldog. It's still full armor. It's looking to be some C aggression from Sentinels, but the spike on the ground this time, so giving themselves some options and more respect paid to this left side of the map if one gets tagged.
Sinatra waves hello there to the Cypher trying to play in the corner of that double stack box, just trying to avoid its vision, but unable to do so. They're able to once again get that C orb, and it's very common for attacking teams to be able to get that. I mean, it's just so easy to smoke that long C position and get that orb and start building ults. They are going to have Gimon ult just to make sure they hadn't made it up along A yet, because they are indeed playing for a retake A setup. So they want to at least have some idea on the timing of when they need to start making their rotations. And unfortunately, he didn't really spot anything, so they're still not quite sure. But now, With that smoke being thrown over towards A Heaven and towards the low side, they do know what they're up against. And now also Zom's able to ult into the under Heaven position. So they're going to have a lot of space. And it's going to once again be that 5-on-5 retake for Gen.G.
And their post plant, again, a lot of avenues to play with here. They're not just corralled on this site. Doms, who ulted underneath Heaven, has since left that position. And the spike now planted in that back corner. 5v5 retake again here. This could close it out or take us to overtime. The drone going to look to get some information. There's the ultimate come through. The running back use a couple of kills to follow Gen.G down to their last 3 here. The push up towards short. We'll see what they can find. Sean now holding the angle. Some kills traded back, but it's still a player advantage. Sean in the 1v2. He's going to fall, and it's all up to Kusa with the operator in hand. Sentinels will close it out 13-11, and map 3 now on the horizon.
Indeed it is, but a skin into our teeth, Sentinels do force the map 3. And I think what it came down to that round was Sentinels just had a little bit more to work with in the post plant. Like,